Big night tonight in Winnipeg, too, by the way. The Jets home to the Montreal Canadiens as part of a very busy hockey slate. We're going to Winnipeg now, and I'm going to tell you this right now. Zachary Benson of the Winnipeg ICE, number 9, joined. Look, he's smiling already. Zach, I'm a huge fan of you and the ICE, and the voice of the ICE, Winnipeg's own Brian Munn, says the same thing of you guys and this show. Man, it's an honor to have you on, man. How did this come about, this interview today?
Yeah, I've always watched your show. I've really enjoyed it, and Muncie told me that I was coming on the Rod Pedersen show today, and I was super pumped.
Yeah, we are too. And he tells me that you guys have the show on in the dressing room every day for the Winnipeg ICE, so I thank you guys for that. Zach, I got to tell you, I look at your stats. I followed your career going back to the bubble last year, and it's jaw-dropping. Like, I'm a huge fan. I'm not just saying it. Tell me a little bit about your hockey career before you got to the Dub, and then we'll talk about how it's gone since you got here. But what's your story as a kid from Chilliwack?
Yeah, obviously starting in a small city in Chilliwack, just working my way up, and then come Bantam, I made the switch to Yale Hockey Academy, and that was one of the greatest things I've ever done. Brad Bowen there runs a great academy, and then right the year of the bubble last year, I made the switch to the Fraser Valley Thunderbirds, and Peter Hay was super great coach, and he got me ready for the Western League.
And, okay, did he ever? And I want to talk to you about that. But obviously you're a humble kid, you're a good kid, but all we hear about is obviously Connor Bedard, but also Jagger Firkus and Denton Matejchuk. I know you're not all on the same birth here, but do you ever sit back and go, hey, what about me? I'm putting up great numbers. I'm playing a 200-foot game. Does anybody say that to you, or have you ever had that thought?
No, I don't think about that. I think about, each game and going out there and working my hardest, doing my job, and that's really all I think about.
Where did you learn, Zach, the defensive side of the game? Because when I called that ICE game in Red Deer, and you'll remember the play, you were back checking and you created a turnover at your own blue line and sprung a 2-on-2 the other way. I'm like, Muncie, this guy is working his ass off in every zone, and he's scoring. Who taught you that part of the game?
I would say my Bantam coach, Brad Bowen. He really harped on it. Every practice, he wouldn't let you have a practice off. It was back one end to the other end. You're back checking, you're working your hardest every second of the practice.
Wow. So tell me about Yale Hockey Academy. I'm not as familiar with it. How many kids are there? Where is it? And what did it do for you?
It's based out of Abbotsford, BC. There's 4 teams there, 2 Bantam teams and 2 midget teams. The Bantam prep team, I played there both years, and like I said, it did a lot for me. It made me a better person on the ice and off the ice.
So tell me about coming through this big road trip, and it seemed like you were out in Alberta forever. I'm like, Muncie, I don't know how you guys are doing it. I think you played 7 games in 10 nights. Obviously, you're a young guy. I'm sure you enjoyed it, but what was that long trip like for you guys out here?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was great team bonding. We had a good road trip. We really bonded as a team, and it was lots of hockey, which we all love. We all love doing.
No, you'd rather play than practice, obviously, but I got to ask you about the loss in Red Deer that I saw, which you guys shouldn't have lost. And then when you went up to Edmonton and lost there, I didn't see that game. What did Jeep, our old buddy Jeep, your head coach James Patrick, tell you guys after those games?
Yeah, we had leads in both of those games, and we lost them. So he was really just harping that we need to be better with leads, and we went into Medicine Hat and we played a full 60 minutes like he wanted us to do, and yeah.
Were you happy to get home, like into your own bed? How did you feel once that thing was all over and you got back to the peg?
Yeah, obviously it's nice to sleep in your own bed, but I had so much fun on that trip. I could have stayed out there for another 2 weeks.
I could tell that you were. Well, Chilliwack is a long ways from Winnipeg. When you got drafted to the Ice, and I'm trying to remember if they were still in Kootenay, if they'd gone to Winnipeg by then. What did you think about being drafted by that franchise, and that you would be going to the furthest outpost from Chilliwack you possibly could?
Yeah, obviously it was an extremely exciting day. I've heard nothing but great things about the organization. Obviously, it's the farthest away from Chilliwack, but I've heard it's a nice city, and yeah.
Well, it's interesting that you say you could have stayed on the road for 2 more weeks out here because, frankly, I'm loving it. You know me as a Regina guy, but I've been in Alberta for a month, and this is what they're talking about. It's going to be Edmonton and Winnipeg in the East Final, and what's the travel going to be like, and what's the injuries going to be like, and who's the better team out of all this, and they're talking about it already out here because they love hockey so much. Have you guys started to think about playoffs yet, or will James allow you to think about that far down the road yet?
Yeah, we've started talking about it a bit, like just the fact that we need to start dialing it in, because it doesn't just happen when you get to the playoffs. It starts right now, and yeah, so just take it each game by game, but it starts now.
Well, I'm really enjoying what you guys are doing, and 12 straight weeks at number 1. I know you're going to want to get back up to number 1 when the rankings come back out and stay there the rest of the way, and be playing in St. John in the Memorial Cup in June. I'm expecting to see you guys there, Zach. So just to wind it up, I want to say thank you for the support of us. I've noticed, and you have as big a fan out here of you. So go Ice, and thanks for the time here today.
Yeah, thanks, Rod.
Zach Benson of the Winnipeg ICE, number 9. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching the RP Show on YouTube. And don't forget, we're live daily on YouTube from noon to 2 Eastern. If you like what you see, hit subscribe. And if you like the program, check around for other segments of the Rod Pedersen Show here on YouTube.